Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Leslie Engelstead, and I'm very grateful you're here with us today. I get to have my new friend Winnie Gillespie sharing with us today. We have so much in common already that I've discovered, and we're grateful to be at her home. And I'm guessing behind you, you can see these beautiful flowers. And I think about flowers as I'm listening to your stories, and flowers to me also have faith written all over them. Mm-hmm. And you were about to share with me earlier when I first met you about how they represent different things that flowers in your gardens do, or just different memories perhaps. But I think that is just such an incredible gift that we're given as children of faith, because we really hopefully never really get too old. We stay young, we stay childlike, because that's the way our Lord intended for us to be. And I think flowers do that. And so when I look around here, I would just love anything that pops in your head that you would love to share deep about your faith, or the simpleness of the flowers, or anything that's stirring.
To me, faith is very simple.
It should be, shouldn't it?
And God's creation is so beautiful, and it's simple. I mean, it's straightforward.
Right.
You look at a tree, you see a tree.
Right.
And that's what your faith should be. And people in my lifetime, we moved a lot.
Okay.
And every place we moved, there was a lady there. And when I look at my flowers, many times I see those ladies.
Really?
The
neat.
patience, just letting you be near them. And being shy. They never asked me a lot of questions. They never told me, oh, we don't do that, or that's not nice, or you are naughty. They never told me any of those things, because I was so glad to be there that I wouldn't have done anything that if I even thought it was bad. But they would let me just walk around with them in the kitchen.
Neat.
Because that's where the moms were. In the kitchen, cooking.
Yep, right,
and
exactly.
And they never told me to get out of the road or anything. And I did a lifeline with one of the pastors, and he noticed those spikes every so often. And he says, what are those spikes in your life? And I said, everywhere that we moved, somehow I would meet a lady. And I would see her, and I'd go and stand by her and walk with her and stuff, and she never pushed me away. She just loved me. She
just loved on you and helped you just grow.
Yes.
Probably just
I wanted to be like
that
them.
One, yeah.
And I knew that I could never really be like them, but God found a way for me to use some of the things that they taught me.
Kind of deposited in you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what when I hear you, I kind of think of the moves, the times, and you referred to spikes, just those kind of ebb and flows, or mountaintops and valleys that all of our lives here on earth, every one of us that walk, have those. And so what brings us to the top ones sometimes are disguised. Sometimes they're disguised with pain. And we would never wish it and want it, but at the same time, that's when we see those roots go deep and the faith be strong, and they're all kind of deposited on it, in and on us almost. And with that, it's so interesting, because as I quickly told you when I met you, your eyes just glow, these beautiful eyes. I look in there, and it's not a surprise, because the Lord tells us that, you know, the kind of the windows of our soul, it's kind of, well, you can't hardly help it. Sometimes I don't quite understand why people can't sense that a creator, just eyes alone, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, simple, look around, and yet at the same time, creation like flowers, so different, so much variety. But so I bet were those women, or the different people that impacted your life, right? Variety.
Variety, and they didn't go around talking about their faith. They showed it.
Yeah, lived it out.
Because I wouldn't have understood it, because there weren't any churches in where we lived.
Okay.
And so we had no church to go to. And
that just proves that the church is the body, is the people.
Exactly.
Right?
And you know, I hope God has given me that aura. That, and I do have young high school girls who will come and hug on me and talk to me, and I can talk to them. So but I don't ever think of myself as being like them in that sense because I'm who I am.
Right. We are who we are,
yeah.
and at the same time.
But he could still use you.
Yes.
If you aren't like exactly.
No.
Yeah.
That humility of heart knows that what we are without our Lord, oh my goodness, messy. But with Him, we get to share what He has kind of poured into us through the seasons, right?
Right.
And so that's what high school, I mean, how great is that to be, and I'm so grateful for young people to be my friends, because they can relate to me lots of times. I don't, wear a big cross in front of them, but I wear joy in front of them enough to have them try to figure out where that comes from.
Encouragement.
And confidence. Absolutely.
Encouragement and letting them know they're loved just like they are.
Huge,
yeah.
Isn't it? It's so huge, just like they are.
Yeah.
And I am fortunate enough to live in the neighborhood, some of where I grew up, which wasn't too far from here, Marshall Lake and Audubon Lake Park area. In fact, when we first met on the phone, you knew my home that I was raised on Marshall Lake.
Yes, I did.
And you told me that it's Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck, that home
My
came
home
from.
was ordered from a catalog.
Yep, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful house.
Yes, it is in my memory one of the fondest that I will take with me wherever I go. Look for one like it, but there isn't. And but of course, maybe we all share that at times.
And they might not even know that it was.
No, I bet they don't.
A lot of people don't.
My folks maybe did, and but those memories though, they're that simpleness of faith, being a kid out in the woods, we had like 13 playhouses. All we would do is go out in the woods. And Winnie, one of the neatest things I didn't always walk close to my Lord, but I knew how much I was loved.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for family to pour into me, but the simpleness of nature itself.
And that's what you see. You see creation.
Yeah.
And you just go, Lord, how could you make a world and then make us love it?
Yeah.
He made it, and He made it for us. And I just keep thinking, there's no end to the things that He brings out to you. And I remember a time of walking with my son in the mountains behind his house, and he always took his dog for a walk. And I walked on my nose all the way up that mountain, and because I was looking at it was spring. And the desert floor was blooming, and these tiny little flowers that I'm sure nobody else sees.
Right.
And I was down there, look at this! Look at this! And I said afterwards, I wrote to him and I said, that must have been the awfulest dog walk you ever took, because you didn't see my face or anything. All I was doing was look at this, like some little kid in a candy store. And he wrote me back a letter. And I still cry when I think about it, because he said, Mom, thank you. Thank you for helping me to see the beauty of that mountain. All it used to be was taking the dog for a walk. And he said, now when I go for a walk, he said, my walk is longer and it's full of joy.
That right there, my lady, is a huge stamp, an exclamation point on your life. Success. That's what I would say of you, Miss Winnie Gillespie. I also lost my dad, but as I think about it, he would stop and smell the roses, definitely, and go to the clover, and he could pick out a 4-leaf, and he's like, don't hurry on so fast. You'll miss something as you do that. So me too. I also share that passion and gratefulness that our dad, poured into us like that, or our son, or whoever it is that God has designed for us to teach them and them to teach us. Again, thank you so much for joining us at Universal Interiors, and we are so grateful for our friend Winnie Gillespie. You have a beautiful day, and again, thanks for joining us.